Deuteronomy 30:19 through 20 says, I call heaven and earth to witness against you today, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life, that you and your offspring may live, loving the Lord your God, obeying his voice and holding fast to him, for he is your life and length of days, that you may dwell in the land that the Lord swore to your fathers, so Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. Today, on the fourth day of awe, we talk about life. And it comes back to choice. You see, in this context, you have Moses giving this speech right at the cusp of the promised land because he can't enter in. Remember, he can't enter in. So he's giving this conversation to try to instill in the people some understanding of what they're going to face there, some of the temptations there. And now we get to this point where he goes, listen, if you want to experience life, because in front of you are two choices, blessings and curses. But that shouldn't scare you. And then he goes and says, heaven and earth are going to testify against you. But that shouldn't bother you. Let me tell you why. Because what God wants is for you to choose life. There it is. God isn't implementing some hard task. He's not making this harder than it has to be. What he's saying is, I want you to to understand that everything I created is filled with the nephesh, the spirit of God, right? The breath of God. So it's going to be able to pull record of the choices that you've made. And I'm going to be in heaven. I'm going to pull record of the choices that you've made. But hear me, because I've set before you blessing and curse, you get to choose. But I want you to choose life so you can have a long one. I want you to choose life so your kids can have a long one. I want you to choose life so you can embrace everything that I have promised for you. Despite how noisy life can get, despite what can go on in your life today, God says, even though I set this before you, you get a choice. And I want you on this fourth day of awe to really begin to pray and search your heart for the choices that you make. Before you, as you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed at night, is blessings and curses because we know the wages of sin is death and we want to choose life. I pray on this fourth day that you examine yourself and ask yourself this question: am I choosing blessings? Am I choosing